All right, all right. What's happening, my family? So we are here tonight, and we are going to have our special guest, Miss FoyShay. Some of y'all know her, and maybe some of y'all new ones don't. But she is a mystic and a astrologist. She does a number of different things, but all of it is good. So we'll be going in with her tonight and talking a little bit about her story, and then she's got a little presentation she's going to do for you guys, and for some of you guys, we'll also do a live reading. So we'll see if we can get that going. But hello, my name is Reginald Martin, and I am the founder of Cosmetic Centered Living. And I help those that are converting from Christianity by providing the tools and knowledge that they need so they can live life boldly, authentically, unapologetically, and on their terms without guilt or shame. All right. So we answer the questions here that Mom and them said, don't ask that question. God don't want you to know that. Well, God gave you a brain, so you can ask and you know anything that you want to know. So if you're curious, go for it. Okay. So that's what we're here tonight. So here tonight to do. So I also wanted to basically promote too. I have a new book that's going to be coming out. So it's going to be Cracking the Christ Code, exposing the ancient Egyptian origins of Jesus. And this is going to help you reclaim your divinity. So anybody that is basically, if you're an analytical person, you like research, you like facts, you like stuff like that, I got that for you. If you're a self-help person that you want to basically be able to tap into your inner self more and connect to your higher self, I got some of that for you too. So this book is going to be using these ancient ideas to basically help you connect, but also help you disconnect from the old paradigm. Okay, so it's going to be definitely doing that. So those are seeking empowerment and new level of consciousness and enlightenment. This book is going to help you get there. Okay, so gonna be releasing this here probably in about the next couple of weeks. It's going to be electronically first, so it's going to be an ebook, and then later I will do a print version of it. Okay, so it's going to be some good stuff. All right. So that's what we got going here. So I'm going to bring Miss Voche up to the stage. Come on, Miss Voche. How are you doing? How are you doing?
Hello.
Again.
What's up, Daddy-O?
You
How
got
are
it. You
you?
got it.
How
I'm
is
doing
my
absolutely
KCL
wonderful.
family doing?
We all doing good. We all doing good.
Good. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Glad to have you here. Most definitely. Glad to have you here. So hadn't seen you in a while. So we need to do some catching up and all of that good stuff. Like what's been happening, you
Right,
know?
right.
Well, so
No,
definitely
and
got
for those that don't know, I live in Atlanta. So that and he lives in I don't know if you want to know where you live, but yeah, he don't live in
yeah,
Atlanta.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
in Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why we haven't seen each other. But yeah, good to see you on the live.
Most definitely, most definitely. So tell us a little bit about. So I guess let's get in because I know there are a lot of new people here that may not know you, know about you, and let's tell us a little bit about your story, how you came to basically do what you're doing and why you're passionate about it.
Oh man, that question always leaves me with where to start. So the beginning is that I've always been a seeker. Since as early as I can remember being in church and looking at people catching the Holy Ghost and laughing with my brother and wondering like, why do they feel a certain way and, have this faith and belief and inspiration from listening to this word, but it's falling flat for me. It's like, I want to feel that. Like, I want to believe in something so much that it makes me break out in the dance and cry. So in that, I was like, okay, well, if Christianity is making them do that, let me try to dive deeper, ask some questions so I can figure out what I'm missing. But in asking those questions, whether that be in church or, to my mother at the time or to my dad, who was an atheist for the most part growing up, I just didn't feel like I got the answers either no one could answer the questions, or once again, like my dad stated, I was told not to ask questions and just, blindly follow. And since that didn't do it for me, I was like, all right, well, I guess it's up to me to find the answers. It's up to me to discover what the truth is for me. And I've always been an adventurer, physically, as well as spiritually, mentally. I'm a very curious person naturally. So I would say from my first dream or prophetic dream I can remember, I was 3 years old. And it showed me the truth of reality in different ways. And so I was always looking for something that mirrored that feeling, mirrored that feeling of love, that feeling of truth. And after discovering that Christianity didn't do that for me, I was like, all right, well, there's other people that believe devoutly in other religions. Let me learn a little bit about a lot of them. And in that, I learned that there were commonalities, but also, various differences. And if everyone devoutly believes what they believe, somebody wrong, um,
Right, right.
so with that, the quest continued, and I remember a turning point in my journey was when I was 17 years old, and I finally told my mom, I don't believe in Christianity. It doesn't serve me. And it was just kind of matter of fact, because she kept pressuring me to go to church. We would go off and on, and this was one of her own times. And she was like, "Yeah, why don't you go to church with me?" Da, da, da. I was like, "Mom, I don't believe in none of that. Like none of that resonates with me." I didn't use the term.
Ooh-wee.
That's new
I
language.
know at that time, I know that was like a woo.
Yeah, no, it was a blow up. She broke down crying and looked me in my eye and told me she failed as a mother and that I was going to hell. And I don't know,
Wow,
something about that. No, something about
wow.
that, the dramatics of it and the way it felt when she said it to me. I busted out laughing. Like it was hilarious to me. Like something in my soul felt like that's completely off. Like I don't have an explanation for why that feels absurd, but it does. And I'm even more dedicated to my journey. Like, okay, if I'm a wonderful person, I love people, I want the best for myself and everyone else. How does this equate to me going to hell simply because I'm not going to go to church or read some book or, pray or give reverence to some man in the sky? I don't know. It didn't add up. So, um, with that, I was always perceptive. I always knew things I didn't have an explanation for. I thought I was really smart in school. I was in advanced classes. I always got good grades, but honestly, it just felt like things came to me. It didn't felt like I actually knew it. I thought I was a great guesser. I was like, I don't know how I know these answers, but when in doubt, click C. Not always, but you know what I mean. But seeing it,
Right.
I was horrible at math because you can't intuit math. All right. Either you know the formula and you know the linear function or you don't. All right. So
Right.
math, if I wasn't cheating, I wasn't trying. Okay. So I cheated my way through math and made it. But everything else, I passed the
Uh,
line. So saying that to say, I was following the traditional route of life, graduate high school, go to college, leave the workforce. I'm sorry. And after college, I just decided, you know what? I don't feel like going to work immediately. And so that was my start of questioning the status quo, questioning the norm. And I said, F the workforce and decided to go live overseas and continue my spiritual journey and self discovery, wanting to be my best self, wanting to understand myself more deeply. And in my desire to understand myself, I was simultaneously learning about the universe because I am that I am. And so when did it turn metaphysical? Um, I can't necessarily pinpoint it. I probably have to say somewhere around 2016 was when I got into meditating. I got into the chakras. I started wanting to understand energy. I realized that I wasn't as emotionally stable as I wanted to be. So I was looking for answers for that as well. I didn't like that people were able to get a rise out of me. So to shorten this summary, I wanted to understand myself more. I wanted to understand what I was capable of. And no one outside of me had the answers. There was no path laid in front of me for what I felt I could accomplish. The visions I had seen in my childhood and growing up, I saw what I was capable of, but I had no route to it. There was no roadmap or GPS. It felt like I was literally feeling around in the dark. And in that feeling around, I would ask questions. I would in my desire to understand things. And every time I asked a question, the answer would come to me. And so when I asked, what am I capable of? I discovered birth charts. I was saving money to yet again move overseas because I came back from Australia after college, and I was like, all right, well, I guess it's time for me to be an adult. So I went back into the workforce. Was about to get married, going through the motions, but not feeling satisfied or fulfilled. So in this second attempt to discover fulfillment, I was preparing to move overseas again, and I was driving Uber. And with Uber, the fun part is that you never know who's going to get in the back of your car. It's always a mystery. Who am I going to meet today? What kind of conversations am I going to have today? And so I was picking up these group of ladies from the airport. They were headed to a wedding. And they started talking about astrology. And I was like, yeah, I'm a Cancer. Da, da, da. And they're like, yeah, I'm a Virgo, but I have a Libra and this Venus and a this Mars. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, what are you talking about? And she was like, you don't know about birth charts? And immediately there's something in me is like, oh, like I feel like I'm onto something. I'm like, tell me more. Like, so it was like a 45-minute drive, and she's telling me about birth charts. Telling me about how our personality is so much more complex than just our sun. People who feel like astrology is inaccurate is because they go off of the generalizations of the sun sign. But she was telling me that there's so much more to us. And little did I know that that was the answer to my question. And so when I discovered my birth chart, of course, when I first looked at it, it looked like mumbo jumbo, but that's motivation for me. It's like, ooh, I don't know anything about this. Let me learn. Let me decipher it. I'm a researcher at heart, an analyzer. I just have this desire to understand things on the micro level as well as the macro level. I want to see the smallest, most detailed picture as well as the biggest picture. So in discovering my birth chart, learning how to read it, discovering astrology, I was so amazed and so inspired at all that I discovered about myself that I was like, I need to share this. Like, this is amazing. This is a jackpot, a gold mine. So, of course, who was the first person I could think to share it with that was even on the level to be able to talk about this stuff? My daddy. So I called up my dad and I was telling him about this amazing discovery. And of course, him being a seeker, a researcher, open to knowledge and information the same way I was, as well as the person who even introduced me to astrology. I still remember being 12 years old and him showing me there was the Black Love book, I think, astrology. And you remember,
Linda Goodman.
yeah, I haven't.
No, it wasn't Linda Goodman. It was somebody else. It wasn't Linda Goodman, but I know the book.
But it's a burgundy cover with like yellow words.
Yeah.
Like that. But yeah, he showed it to me and he was like, you're a Cancer. And I remember feeling very disappointed because I associated Cancer with the disease. But
damn, I'm sick.
Yeah, right. I'm a Cancer. What? I'm like, I don't like that one. Don't sound cool. Like, why can't I be the Leo or the Lion or something? But anyway, discovering my birth chart helped me dive deeper into myself, and my passion is self-discovery, sharing information. And so what our passions are is what we're meant to share. So if my passion is self-discovery, automatically I was like, I want to help other people discover themselves. This has completely changed and shifted my perspective on myself and the way that I look at life. I have to share this. And my dad was he was my first customer. And I didn't even think about monetizing it. But he was like, baby girl, you need to sell this. You need to market this. People do this. Da, 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 da. And lo and behold, the first people I told were like, I want a reading. I want a reading. And it just took off. It was clear that this was the path I was meant to be on. And so then astrology helped me understand the universe, because if you go from Aries all the way to Pisces, it tells you the journey of learning how to be human, because Aries represents arrival in the physical. Pisces represents returning to the womb. All right. And the cycle continues. So in understanding the archetypes of astrology, I understood the archetypes and the cycles of humanity. And then astrology led me to numerology, led me to tarot, led me to palm reading, led me to any possible divination, which then came back to myself and realized I am the instrument. I am the tool. I am what is being channeled through. So saying that to say, astrology was my first tool to discover what I was capable of in terms of putting a language to what I'd always known, that I'd always felt, which is energy is my first language. I see, I feel, I sense things that have no explanation to how I got this information. But all I know is I have to share it. So here we are. I hope that was a good summary. I feel like I'm going to think back about it later and be like, dang, I should have said this. I should have said this. But
No, it's all good. No, that's good. So I just remember parts of that journey, and like from my perspective too. I remember it was one time you was probably about 8 or 9 years old, and I remember I started trying to talk some metaphysics to you, and you were like, "Daddy, I don't want to hear that."
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
But it was literally because it was after I had just had the conversation with mom about I don't believe in Christianity. And so my dad, being a helper, being someone who's like, okay, well, let me give you what I have, had the best of intentions. But I was like, look, I've had enough of people trying to tell me what to believe or how to look at things. I want to come to my own conclusions and understandings. And if this is the path that I'm meant to be on, I want to figure it out for myself. And lo and behold, we both took different spiritual paths to the knowledge and information, but ended up meeting at the same point. And
Yeah. No, and I understand. I was saying that I laugh about it now, because and that taught me a lesson too, was that I had to let everyone come to this in their own time. You can't force this on people. And what I learned was just you and your brother was just like, you both were going to have to make a choice, or not have to, but I knew at some point in your life y'all were going to make a choice of like if you wanted to go down the religious route or do you want to go down the spiritual route. And so at that point I just knew to leave you guys alone. If you had questions, then I would talk to you about it. And that's how I deal with that now. I don't even like go up and try to convince people with stuff. It's like I'll put the information out there. If you want it, come get it. If you don't, I'm good with it.
Right. Exactly.
So those were things that, again, just it's interesting how our past will like teach us lessons in different ways, and how that those things just mirror our path and stuff like that. So, but I mean, it's just I just remember when you did your first reading, or for me. It was twofold because I knew you had been studying and stuff like that. And when you did my reading, you did a damn good job. I was like, wow, that's my daughter that did that. And I knew at that point you were ready, because family, this is the thing y'all got to understand. I don't just put her out here because she's my daughter. I want her to be good, and because it's part of my name and our name here at KCL. I want her to do a good job. And so I talk about her because I know that she is good. She does an excellent job at what she does. So so most definitely this is not just a nepotism thing.
Right. For sure. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. For sure.
Most
Can I just take a
definitely.
moment to say hello to Judy? Hey, Judy. Hey, D. Sound off the general. I remember your name. I can't remember.
Marcus.
Marcus. That's Marcus. I was like, I know who that is. Hey, Marcus. These are my KCL fams. So glad y'all are here.
Montreal and Mahas Mahet Maru. So all of these KCL families. So what's happening? What's happening?
Yes,
David Rich, what's going on? What's going on?
Hey,
so all of y'all. So thank y'all for being here. Natalie, hello.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm seeing people I did readings for. Y'all are the sweetest. Thank you so much. Much appreciated.
Yeah. So yeah. So okay, so very, very cool. So I want you now, if you would, because I know you had a little bit of a presentation for us too about Mars being like a second sun sign. Now,
Yes.
this is something new to me, guys. So she's gonna be like teaching me something here tonight. But
Yes.
she's gonna flow with it. We're gonna roll with it, and then after that, we're gonna have a birth chart reading with this knowledge and information. And Voche, I don't know if you took the time to like look my stuff up, but man, I would love for you to do that
You
for
want
me.
me to do yours? I know if you want me
Yeah,
to want me. Okay, I
yeah,
remember.
yeah, yeah. So,
That's what I was here.
I sent you Mahaz Maru.
I
Man,
saw
I
it.
can't hardly say your name, brother. So, but I sent you his birth chart, and so we'll bring him up later and help him through this.
Excellent, excellent,
Okay.
wonderful. Yeah.
All
So
right.
what I wanted to get into today was just how I kind of touched on in my story about how astrology has this reputation, or for people that be like, oh, that stuff's not accurate, oh, that stuff's too generalized. If you just focus on the generic information of your sun, it is going to feel generalized. But our sun, if you think about the position of our sun in the solar system, it is in the middle, meaning it emanates and gives life to this solar system that goes in a circle. Okay. So there are layers to our solar system. You don't just get to the sun like first thing. And just like there are layers to the sun or planets outside of the sun that you have to get to before the sun, our identity, the way that we emanate, also has layers. Our personality also has layers. So yes, we have a sun sign, but depending on the situation you're in, the environment, what is called for, what is required of you, different parts of our personality shine more than others. So what we're talking about today is the sun as it relates to your Mars and your identity. So, in astrology, in life, in existence, there are masculine expressions which project, masculine energy projects, and there's feminine energy which receives, feminine expression receives. So, when you think of the sun is considered masculine because it emanates, it pushes something out. Okay. Mars is considered masculine because it is the god of war. It represents, even if you look at the symbol, it's a circle with that arrow, the phallus pointing out. Okay, it projects. And in astrology, our Mars sign, not only does it represent how we go about getting things done, okay, how we approach life, how we project ourselves, um, how we express anger, how we express our sexuality. It also represents how we show up. So in our birth chart, the masculine expressions are the sun, okay, our rising sign, Mars, Saturn is very masculine. But in regards to when you think of the elements, there are signs that are exalted or work better with Mars energy, masculine energy, and signs that kind of have a bit more of a difficult time working with the masculine energy of Mars. So when you think of it elementally, fire and air. Okay, Mars is already fire. Its home sign is Aries. All right, so its natural way of expressing itself is fiery. It's passionate. It's about going after something. Pray for anybody or anything that gets in the way. Mars is like, it's time to get stuff done. So when we are trying to get stuff done in life, we have to look at the energy of our Mars and how that's expressed. Okay, because society champions the hard worker, the overworker, and it shuns laziness or people who kind of go with the flow or lackadaisical type of expression. Okay, but not everyone is meant to express themselves in the way that a Mars Aries does. For example, if you have your Mars in Cancer, all right, which is a very feminine, watery sign, all right. If a Mars in Cancer tries to force itself to do things or work hard or um, you know, act as if it's an Aries, Mars Cancer is going to burn out. All right. It's going to get frustrated. It's going to be angry. It's going to feel like nothing is working because it's moving out of its energetic. It's not in harmony with the way that that energy wants to express itself. So when we think of our sun sign, All right. For instance, I'm a Cancer sun, but Cancer, again, is feminine energy. So when you meet me, my Cancer sun is tucked away. It's not the very first thing that you see. My Mars, however, is Virgo. So Virgo, what does the archetype Virgo desire to do? Because when we talk about Mars, we're talking about doing. All right. When we talk about the sun is more of your being. This is the core of your nature. You're constantly emanating this, but there are layers on top of that. Okay. So Virgo Mars, when I show up into a room, my first instinct is to analyze, all right, what's needed, what's missing, all right, because Virgo is the perfectionist, it's the problem solver, it's the healer, it's the helper, it's the sign that has a desire to be of service. So the way that my personality is projected is, how can I serve? How can I help? How can I bring forth or facilitate information that's going to create a solution? How can I create efficient productivity? Because Earth, the expression of Earth is building. So when you think of building, you have to build in steps. Okay. Um, and when you think of building, Earth energy is practical. It moves, and like I said, it moves in steps, but it also doesn't want to waste energy. It's like it wants to use all of its energy to the fullest capacity so it can get the best results. So Virgo Mars is efficient. All right. So when I show up in a room anywhere, I am projecting efficiency. I am projecting sharing information. I am projecting how can I help? But on the aggression side, the way that I express anger. So on the helpful side, my critical nature points out, all right, we can be better at this. We can improve on this. But when the way that my Mars expresses anger is hypercritical, okay, meaning I'm nitpicking. I'm going in my files, I'm going in my receipts. Hey Martha, and I'm pulling up everything in order to, how can I put it? I'm still trying to help, but it's not in as much of a gentle or tactful way. So everyone's Mars has a positive or an outward expression, and it also has a shadow or a dark expression. So saying that to say, my Cancer sun, with it being feminine being magnetizing, okay, only those close to me or see me outside of a social setting, meaning my family members, know how nurturing I am, know how emotional or caring and empathetic I am, but it's not what I lead with, if that makes sense. And it's not on purpose. It's just when I'm out in public and the objective is to get something done, it's like, what's the purpose of me being here? So Mars tells you how to go about achieving your purpose in a way that complements your energy, because the sun determines what fulfills you. Okay. As a Cancer, what fulfills me is emotional security, um, understanding myself and this everything around me, freedom to travel, and I need a lot of love. Okay, so how I facilitate that is through my Virgo. I also want to give the things that I desire. So the way you facilitate the mission of your sun is through your Mars sun. So you are not just a sun. And if you feel like, for instance, my dad. So let's go into you, Daddy.
Okay.
You are a Scorpio sun, which is, once again, it's water. Water is feminine. Okay. Fire is masculine. Earth is feminine. Air is masculine. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
as a Scorpio sun, Scorpio's natural emanation is the observer. It's a magnetizing sign, so it's not projecting. So if it's a magnetizing sign, that means it's very observant. That means it's taking energy in first before it puts something out. All right. It's like you have to give to me before I give back, in a sense. And Scorpio is the sign that's behind the scenes. It deals with psychology. It deals with what's bringing what's hidden to the light. Okay. And so
Mm-hmm.
he's such a great researcher. This is why he has this undying curiosity to discover the truth and feels insulted if you present anything other than that. It's like, what is that? And so
Mm-hmm.
at the mission of a Scorpio, once again, is to illuminate the shadow. Okay. Now, how does he carry out that mission? He is a Leo Mars. Leo is a fire sign. Fire, once again, it projects, it wants to be seen, it wants to express. And Leo is royalty. Okay, it's the inspirer. And Mars and Leo, when it is at its healthiest, when it is at its highest expression, it is sharing knowledge, information, or it's being seen, it's inspiring, uplifting others. It's just has this very warm energy. Leo is also a teacher, okay? And so his what
Now, what's
you
the shadow side? Let's talk about the shadow side too. So,
okay, all right. Well, the shadow
I ain't
side.
scared.
Okay, well, I love that because that's that Scorpio in you. That's like, hey, give me the real, okay?
Right.
Um, but Leo in Mars, it is hell bent on its goal. All right, it's very unwavering. It doesn't want to take anyone else's opinion or advice in terms of what it sees it wants to do in its life, and it can be very hell bent on achieving it. And for that, success is inevitable for Leo Mars. But where they occur bumps and bruises is inflexibility, or just
Yep.
just very defensive in terms of not wanting anybody to tell them how to be, what to do. All right, Leo wants to define itself for itself, and
What?
this
Hey, the way I
uh,
put that, baby girl, is I'd rather f it up doing it my way than
right.
effing it up trying to do it somebody else's way and then be like, dang, I should have did it my way.
Right. But the shadow side is also the light side, because your belief in yourself, your knowingness that you can do it and get if it can be done, I can do it. That's the Leo Mars's um energy, or it's expression.
Hmm.
It's like, everybody get out of my way. I know what I'm capable of. I know where I deserve to be. And listen to me. I have something to offer. I have something to give. And this is why it's such an inspiration, because what is in you is contagious. What you are projecting is light. Leo represents the sun. All right. So
Hmm.
you are a beautiful contradiction in terms of Scorpio being the darkness and then Leo being the light. So your Leo helps you fulfill your Scorpio sun by bringing the darkness to the light, bringing your research to light, bringing the occult to light. Okay. So to everyone on this live, you come across as a Leo. You feel like a Leo. Your Scorpio isn't what's being projected, okay? Or it's being projected through the research, okay? It's being projected through you sharing what you've discovered. So it's like, once again, the sun is in there, but it's like a chocolate coated raisin or a chocolate covered raisin. You're gonna get to the chocolate first before you get to the raisin, but it's in there. You're gonna taste it, all at once. But what you
Hmm.
feel first, or what you taste first, isn't the totality of what it is. So you are not just your sun. And in terms of how you go about accomplishing your mission, Dad, all right, you also have to look at the degree that your Mars is in, as well as the house. So
Okay.
your Mars is at the 11th degree, just like mine. So we have different Mars signs, but the same degree. The 11th degree is the Aquarius degree. So Aquarius represents higher idealism. It's the higher octave of Mercury. It represents genius. It represents seeing things from a different perspective, a higher perspective, and sharing this information with the intention to uplift humanity. It's like, wow, this is really useful information. I'm not just going to keep it to myself. I need to share this so other people can benefit from it as well. And then
Hmm.
the second
Hmm.
represents our value system. It's Taurus. All right. So we both have similarities in terms of where our Mars is expressed, because the house of values, as well as the house of Taurus is natural. Taurus represents nature. And in nature, there are cycles to growth. So both of us have had to work on patience when attaining a goal, moving with the seasons. All right, accepting, because what we desire is constant. We want constant security. We want a constant, like, if I direct my energy in this area, I want to see gradual results. I don't want to see any ebb. Okay, I just want to see flow.
Right.
But in nature, there are ebbs and flows. So although we are both hell bent on accomplishing and experiencing everything we know we deserve, projecting everything we value, We have had to learn how to align with the cycles of nature
Yep.
to
Yep.
accomplish.
No,
Um,
I agree with that. I agree with
mhm,
that 100% because that's always been and has been one of my major battles was that I try to use my will to accomplish everything.
mhm,
Okay.
mhm,
But what I'm having to learn now is that the abundance is there and it's like it's in a pool waiting, but
mhm.
my will makes me run around the pool of abundance.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Well, I see the pool, I can feel the pool, but I like, okay, I got to do this, I got to do this,
Right.
but all I have to do is really learn to just allow,
Yes.
and receive. Because, like you
Yes.
say, I love giving, but receiving has always been like an issue for me.
Same. Same. And so with that, with your Mars being a fiery masculine Leo, but it being in the feminine, surrendering, magnetizing house of Taurus, you have had to embrace that duality of knowing when to push, when to go for it, and when
Yep.
to surrender. Because the other side of that Leo Mars is that Leo represents creativity and self expression. So you have been accurate in terms of, like, my dad is very self driven. Like, he has this unparalleled determined and focus when he has his mind on something. He can just go and go and go, like he's like the energizer bunny. Okay. And when you
Hmm.
have a Leo Mars, you have to continue to produce. You have to just keep producing because you don't know what's going to hit. It's just he follows his inspiration of what he wants to create, what he wants to do. And as long as he does that with the understanding that everything happens in cycles and divine timing, it's inevitable. Success is inevitable, which is how he got here today. My dad has never been a quitter. Like, he instilled that in me. Like, quitting, if we talk about sins or taboo, quitting was a taboo sin in our household. Like, what is that? Quitting? What? Like,
Right.
completely unacceptable. And he has emulated that. So yeah, that is the summary of your Scorpio Sun and Leo Mars,
Well,
Dad.
thank you for that. So can you talk a little bit about different emanations of that Mars for different signs?
Yes, yes. So I had decided in determining how I was going to break this information down, I decided I want to break it down elementally, okay, so that everyone can get a better understanding of how the energy functions. So we already started with fire. And the objective of fire is to not only give warmth and bring people together, but it is here to inspire. It is here to create, to motivate. Fire is very active. And so if you have a fire Mars, and Dad, you can attest to this, but you need to do something active every day. And I know my dad walks a lot. Or like martial, like you might need to do, if you have a Mars and Aries, you might benefit from martial arts or boxing. But fire needs some sort of outlet because it's pure expression, it's pure energy. So if you have a fire Mars, it needs to constantly be expressed. All right, you need to be doing something every day or constantly that helps you release this energy of self-expression. But in that fire, there are three modalities. So you have cardinal energy, which is the initiator. You have fixed energy, which is it is just that. It's stable, it's steady, it's ongoing. All right. And then you have mutable energy, which is adaptable. It shifts, it changes, it comes at the change of a season. So if you have a cardinal Mars, which is Aries, all right, Aries has to follow its impulses and inspiration, because if it doesn't and that train passes, it's like Aries can't do anything once it's bored with it. It's like it has to go, 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 create until it has no longer has any interest. Okay. But what you have started or the seeds you have planted, you never know what that sparked where somewhere else or for someone else or with someone else. All right. So Aries is the initiator. Leo, like we just discussed, it's fixed energy. All right. So it is here to maintain a flame of whatever you are passionate about, that's once again, that's that hell-bent nature. It's fixed on this. Like, this is what I want to do. I'm not wavering. And it can continue to give fire to that goal. All right. And can keep going. All right. And so if you have a Leo Mars, you gotta keep going. Don't stop. If you got an Aries Mars, just get started. Follow your intuitive, impulsive urges. Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the mutable sign. So it's adaptable, meaning it's the seeker. So as your interests change, so should your whatever you're seeking. All right. So it's just if you have a Sagittarius Mars, go where you feel led, go where you feel drawn. It's the serendipity sign, meaning things happen by you just being in the right place at the right time through following your intuition. All right. So that's fire. All right. Expression, projection. And fire is the favorite place, or Mars operates really well in fire. So let's go.
And fire is also like, that's the first cause of all. It is desire, like you were, and it goes right back to the Kemetic symbolism and how that, what that is. Fire is the first cause of everything, desire, basically. Yeah,
exactly. And our sun, once again, without the sun gives everything life because of its heat, because of its fire, you know. So again, that's an expression of Leo, giving light to something, but also learning how to receive. So then we go to water. When we think of the expression of water, water is emotional, water is intuitive, it's feeling. All right. And to feel, you have to listen. To feel, you have to stop and receive the energy. So we're always receiving energy. It's just whether or not you're sensitive enough to be able to interpret the messages that you're getting. All right. So water naturally receives. So when you put it in a masculine sign or a masculine planet like Mars, it can be very uncomfortable and very challenging to have a water Mars, but the most challenging placements also offer the greatest reward. So when you have a water Mars, example, Cancer is the intuitive sign. All right. So that means the way that you would go about accomplishing your desires and creating fulfillment is through listening to your intuition, mastering your emotions, analyzing, and then moving when you feel inspired. Okay. If you have a water Mars, forcing is going to drain you, as I stated earlier. And Cancer is cardinal. So you will know when to initiate something when your intuition tells you, okay, go. But you also have to honor those, wait, not yet, wait. Okay, now go. All right. And the way society pressures us to constantly be working, it can have a really difficult effect on Cancer Mars. But what this is forcing you to do is trust your intuition, trust your capabilities, trust that the universe will always give you what you need. So a Cancer Mars has to learn to receive, put the energy out into the universe in terms of what it wants, and let the universe work for it. Because you're here to magnetize. You're not here to project, produce. It's like your doing is energetic. If you have a water Mars, your doing is all energetic. If you're trying to force stuff or wait for, I don't know, think you can force it or will it into being, you're just gonna get slapped around because the universe is trying to teach you to surrender so you can learn how to magnetize. Okay. That especially goes for Pisces Mars. All right. If you have a Pisces Mars, which Marcus, our brother Marcus, he has a Pisces Mars, and you know, you can attest to this, Marcus, but with a Pisces Mars, you can't really see your direction. The path is not made clear. You have to allow spirit to guide you because Pisces represents the womb. It represents all that is. So as a Pisces Mars, you're so creative. You see all these possibilities and timelines. You have all these talents, but you like, what? I don't know how to practically apply them. You know, Pisces energy has difficulty with practicality. All right. But the more you relax into this don't make sense, but I'm feeling like something's telling me to do it. All right. This is when you will progress along your journey. trying to make sense of stuff or trying to take practical steps is going to cause you stress. It's going to make you frustrated. All right. And you're going to feel like nothing's getting done. Like you're exerting all this energy and nothing is happening. That's because you are meant to receive instruction. All right. And then act based on your inspiration. And that is creativity. All right. You are here to be amused. All right. And in being amused, to inspire other people. Hi, Debbie. Hello. Hello. Hi, Dwayne. So those are the opposites in terms of fire and water. Fire is projecting, it's confident in Mars energy. Water is uncomfortable in Mars energy and has to learn how to receive and be feminine. And so in terms of polarity, water and fire are like this, and then you have earth and air, with these extremes. So air Mars is okay. Air is deals with idealism and sharing information, facilitating understanding. All right. This is what an air Mars is here to do. So these are your writers. These are your, your counselors, your, I don't know, teachers. Okay. Air is also teachers. And when I said that, I thought of Aquarius because Aquarius wants to give back information. How are scientists? All right. It is allowing your mind to take you to where you need to be. So following your curiosities, following what do I desire to discover? What am I interested in learning? All right. What information am I passionate about? Because air, if Mars's natural energy is fire, air and fire complement each other. So it's like your Mars, if you are operating in your mental or masculine energy and going after what inspires you, okay, you are facilitating fulfillment for whatever your sun's goal is. So if I had to give an example of an air Mars with let's say a water sun like Pisces, all right, this is energy that is poetically creative, or it's like I have a desire to express the thoughts that are in my mind and have people feel what I'm thinking. All right. So expressing your inner world. Air is here to express your inner world, give words, giving words to energy. Okay. This is such good context. Thank you, Amber S. Much appreciated. Yes. So
So
yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, help me out. What you was about to say?
Okay, so I know Mahaz had he wanted his reading done here tonight. So
Is he gonna
are
come
you
on?
able to? Huh?
Is he gonna come on?
That's what I was trying to see if he was still here. So I had been typing to him and didn't see if he was still here. But if he is, then we can definitely bring him up.
Well, yeah, I'm ready.
So Mahaz Mahet Haru, are you here, brother? So we wanted to get you up here. So if you are, then you can click this link and join us in here. All right. So so you can click this link. If there's somebody, if there's anyone else, if you know your Mars and degrees, then you want FoyShay to talk to you about you specifically, then you can click that link and join us here. Okay. So so come on up. So I just put the link in the chat box. The link in the chat box. So if anybody wants to get their reading of their Mars, then she can do that here for you. Okay. So now what information are you going to need, FoyShay?
To know your Mars sign, you simply need your birthday and the place you were born. But if you want to know what house it's in, which gives you another perspective and nuance of how and where in life your Mars wants to be expressed, then you will also need your birth time. And it has to be exact. It can't be one of the things like, I think my mama said I was born at no, it has to be exact or it's inaccurate information that I'm giving you. So, yeah, if you don't mind if not knowing what house it's in, then you can just simply type in your birthday and where you were born, and it'll give you your Mars sign.
Okay. Okay. Let's see here.
And
Let
a
me
birth
get.
chart calculator.
Huh?
Is that link in the description box, Dad? That birth chart calculator I sent you?
No, actually, I didn't put that one in there. I can. Let me see if I can find that one. I'm trying to remember now where I actually put that bad boy. Dang it! I
Yeah, but
jacked up. No,
it
so the
should,
link in the chat room is the link to join us here, so they can come here on camera with us. Is what they can do. All right.
oh, this person, and in the meantime, Chief Scorpio Moon, he says his Mars is retrograde in Cancer. That I love that he said that, because that adds another nuance. So what retrograde means is naturally the planets, when it's spinning direct, all right, it's going in a forward motion, all right. When it's retrograde, it's perceived as spinning backwards. So I'm not sure if y'all have ever ridden past an 18-wheeler on the road, but it's like when you're driving by it, sometimes you can't tell if you going forward or it's going backwards. It kind of like, it's like that confusing look and feeling. You know what I'm talking about, Dad? Have you ever experienced that ride next to an 18-wheeler?
The what now?
It's like when you're riding next to an 18-wheeler and it kind of feels like they're going backwards or you're going
Oh
backwards.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's exactly what retrograde is. Both the planets are always moving forward, but sometimes they can be perceived as moving backward. And when they're perceived as moving backward, or if you have a retrograde planet in your chart, what that means is that energy is more focused internally. The events that are going to activate it are internal, not external. Okay. Meaning that your shift in perspective is going to affect how you go about things. The way that you think, the information that you learn, the insights that you get, the self-discovery is what's going to help you learn and discover your Mars. Hello. Who do we
All
have
right, all right.
here?
We got Tay here.
Hi,
So,
Ted.
Tay, how are you doing, sister?
I'm okay. How y'all doing?
Good,
Doing good.
wonderful.
Doing
I
good.
love your hair.
Thank you very much.
I'm so proud
I
of
took
myself.
those pipe cleaners out.
Oh yeah, okay. You have pipe cleaners. Yeah, this is lock knots. Little
Okay.
girl
Oh
lock.
yeah, it's too heavy for me. I could barely sleep with the pipe cleaners.
Yeah, that it is uncomfortable. I
Yeah, I
understand.
had trouble with those pipe cleaners too. I
You
mean,
can relate,
man,
Daddy.
I see. I
I
see.
mean, I just got rid
Well,
of them.
I
Yeah.
hopped on to definitely say hi. Thank you, Mr. Reginald, for all of your teachings. You have like busted up the doors, the windows, the home in my life through everything. This is my first time actually um, seeing you speak, Voche, and I am happy to share with everybody that's here. I born in Cheverly, Maryland on November 13th, 1988 at 9:36 p.m.
Okay.
So I'm aware that I'm a Scorpio sun. I am a Capricorn moon and Leo rising.
Oh, you're a Leo rising? Same. Okay. Hold on just a second and I will get that information typed in. I'm gonna need you to repeat it, of course,
Okay.
momentarily.
November 13th, 1988 at 9:36 p.m.
Hold on. 9:36
Yes,
p.m.
in Cheverly, Maryland.
Chevrolet.
I have my reincarnation shirt on, y'all.
Okay, I like that. How do I
All
spell
right.
Chevrolet? Because it only pulled up Kentucky.
Oh, CHEVRLY.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Chevrolet.
Oh, okay. That's not what I typed in at all. Okay. And what'd you say the state was?
Maryland.
Okay, there we go. First one. Excellent. Come on. This is when you want to act. Bear with me, guys.
My cat talks too much, so I'm going to mute myself in the meantime.
I can't hear it. We can't hear it. Chevrolet. Thank you. Okay, here we go.
No, you good. You good. All right.
Okay, we got it. We got it. We got it. I'm on.
Got it? Okay.
Oh,
okay.
whoa. More people. Okay.
We got a line.
Oh, wow. Well, let me get to it then. All right, Tay. All
Right.
right. Yes, ma'am. Scorpio sun with an Aries Mars. Okay. So your Scorpio sun is in the 4th house. This means that it has a flavor of Cancer. All right. And it is at the 21st degree, which is Sagittarius. So your sun sign is a combination of Scorpio, Cancer, and Sagittarius. All right. Sagittarius and Cancer have similar energies in terms of they are the seeker. They are traveling. So Cancer is traveling deep within. Sagittarius is traveling wherever. It has no limits of where it wants to travel. And then Scorpio, once again, is discovering what's hidden, uncovering the truth within your psychology, within the universe. Okay. So what fulfillment looks like to you is emotional security. Okay. Somebody you can talk to about anything, any and everything, nothing being taboo, as well as someone who is willing to stick with you in terms of you really appreciate dedication. Like you really appreciate commitment and people who are willing to go through the difficulty in order to get to the beauty. Okay. You are someone who is not afraid of anything. And if you are, you go for it. It's like, well, let me go face it. Let me go conquer it. Let me go whoop his ass. know?
Absolutely.
You refuse to be controlled by anything. You refuse to let other people control you or define you. Okay. And as your Aries Mars, so this is what you're emanating at your core is like the desire to discover yourself. Who am I? What is the universe? How do I relate to the universe? As well as your Mars. So when we come to your Mars, which is in the 9th house of Sagittarius, and it's at the degree of Aries, and it's in Aries. So it's double Aries with a flavor of Sagittarius. This is triple fire, all right? This means that you are someone, when it comes to the 9th house, it is the house of beliefs. It is the house of traveling, philosophy, religion, the desire to discover truth. This is the sign of truth and the spiritual seeker. So when you have your Mars and Aries in this house, this means that you project braveness. All right. Hence you being the first one to be like, hey, well, if they ain't got nobody, I'm here. Let's go.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Not
3,000%.
Oh, he was there.
Yeah. It's like put me in front. If anybody can do it, once again, I can do it. Fire is very self-motivated. And as an Aries Mars, when you have an idea, when it's something that you want to do, you don't hesitate. It's like, let's go for it. What are we wasting time for? Aries Mars hates wasting time. But the counter is impatience. All right.
Yeah.
Want things to be instant. Whereas Scorpio has to go through these transformations of magnetizing experiences that allow it to transform. So the way that you approach life, with it being very head first, hands on, you transform at a rapid pace because you have no fear in terms of facing yourself and facing the universe. And with that, you are someone who will accomplish any and everything you set your mind to because you have, once again, that no quit attitude, that I can do attitude, I will do attitude. So for you, your will and believing in your will is actually going to facilitate fulfillment. So going toward what inspires you, but also releasing the need to control what that path looks like. All right. It's like
You
just
hit it on the nose.
So a lot of times Scorpio energy has to learn to release control and surrender. And that has been your challenge. So it's like allowing the darkness to consume you just as well as you allow the light to consume you, honoring those periods of darkness as well as honoring those periods of light as a part of your development. Okay. So anything you feel inspired to do, go for it. Try it. It can't hurt you. It won't hurt you. Okay. Do it for as long as you feel like doing it. And then when you don't feel like doing this no more, move on. Don't let nobody tell you you gotta stay with something forever, or you need to do this forever. Do whatever you want to do until you feel like not doing it. However long that takes, whatever that looks like, it will lead you to your purpose.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah, and that's some good advice, because it's like, I one of the things I talk about is like, follow your joy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And a lot of times we don't know what that's like, or it can seem like it's counterintuitive,
Mm-hmm.
because if following your joy, you can't see like how to get that paycheck or that payday,
Mm-hmm.
then you're kind of like, well, no, I don't know if I want to do that, because I got to pay the bills.
Mm-hmm.
So you keep doing what you really don't like, instead of following what you enjoy. And I can say from my experience, when I followed my joy, it's like it's like things just open up. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
whatever I need, it comes. But I can be so focused on control that I want to do it a certain way, or I want it to look a certain way. But in reality, what I want is the experience of the finished thing.
Mm-hmm.
When I get that finished thing. So the hardest thing to do is just allow to sit in that energy of what you want to feel, and not try to direct how it's done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's
If
good.
that makes sense. Okay.
That makes sense.
Did that
Thank
reading
you.
resonate with you, Tay?
A lot, as a matter of fact, especially when you say about like release and control. I buried my mom on last Thursday, and I was the one that said that I didn't want to have her celebration in the church. I didn't want no preachers and pastors and stuff like that there. That I wanted to do everything, and I was thankful enough to be able to do everything. I mean, like have the whole from the viewing down to like throwing the dirt on her casket was all within my fullest desires, and that was just to manifest like how I love and how I love my mom. So thank y'all for sharing all
Yes.
those things.
And before you go,
Thank you for being here.
your mother had to go on that side because she's about to help usher you into this new phase that you're going in. So it's like you needed her more on that side energetically as a soldier for everything you're about to go through. All right.
Yeah.
And know that she's there holding your hand. She's here with you now. Okay. It's all connected to your purpose. So thank you for sharing that with us, Tay. Thank you for willing to be brave. Thank you for your bravery. All right. My pleasure.
And so one of the other things that FoyShay does is she's also a medium. So she can connect to the people that are on the other side as well.
Yes.
So thank you, Tay.
Thank you.
You bet. You have a great evening, okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, let's see. Mahaz.
Is he here?
Yeah, I just kicked him off.
Yes, sir.
There we go.
Mais. Mais. Yes.
Y'all get these names on me, man. I'm just trying to pronounce them. Mais. Okay, I see it.
Yeah.
I can't even where it's spelled. It looked like matches to me.
Well, hello, Mais.
Hey, how you doing? I'm great. Very high vibrations today.
Yeah, I love that. Wonderful. Well, thank you for volunteering to be read today. It does take
I wanted
a
to.
soul. Yeah,
I wanted to. This is my first time.
I love it. Love the open-mindedness. So let's get into it. I see we got a line, we got a queue. Hey AJ, hey Nicole.
Yeah,
Let's
so we
get into
gotta keep it on the tight. Keep it
Okay,
tight.
shorten it. Should I shorten it?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
All right. There we go. Okay. So your sun, all right, your core emanation is Sagittarius, all right, but it's also in the 4th house of Cancer, all right, and it also has the degree of Pisces. So you got water, fire. That gives you steam, all right? So steam needs expansion, all right? It expands, all right? That means you're a very expansive person as a Sagittarius, but your Mars tells you what you desire, all right? And your Mars is in Capricorn in the 5th house at the degree of Sagittarius. You are a great example because Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Exaltation means this is the most powerful, potent sign for Mars to be in. It can function at its highest capability here. Capricorn wants to achieve. Not only does it want to achieve and get to the top and is very ambitious, it's like, all right, once I get to the top, I want to help bring everybody else up. With it being in the 5th house of self-expression, the way that you do this is by believing in yourself, understanding your value and what you have to offer, putting out information. This could make you a mentor in some kind of way, a teacher in some kind of way, work with kids in some kind of way, just in some way wanting to be involved with the youth and like, man, I see the issue. I see what's missing. Let me show these kids the truth. Let me show people the truth. All right. So you have a desire, your Mars has a desire to fulfill your Sagittarius sun by seeking the truth and then using it to help other people level up and accomplish their goals and ambitions. Okay.
So resonate with you? To resonate with you so far?
That's amazing. That's exactly, that's me.
But
that's
your
I can feel you were kind of laughing a little bit that she was hitting on some points for you.
Oh my gosh, yeah, teaching and all that stuff. When people level up, I have a little group, my own stuff that I'll be teaching young youth, about my art and everything, man, about African spirituality, how they can level up, how they can, connect with their higher ka. I mean, like, it's amazing what you.
Yes.
Wow.
But your challenge is probably thinking that you're not doing enough or feeling like I could be doing more, right?
Yes.
You just surrender and allow yourself to be where you're meant to be. You're always at where you're meant to be. All right. So stop thinking you have to know the plan. All right. And just follow your inspiration. And serendipity will put you in situations you didn't even know you needed to be in. But by following your intuition, you're in the right place at the right time. So
can I
control. Mm-hmm.
And can I add to that for FoyShay too?
Yes.
Is one of the things that a lot of us as teachers and leaders and stuff like that we want to like help change the world, okay? Mm-hmm. And we think that it's what we say and what we do and what we tell people that changes the world. Mm-hmm. But it's about consciousness. Mm-hmm. It's about your consciousness. So the best thing that you can do for you is enjoy what you're doing and why you're doing it. And in that way, you're truly loving who you are. And when you're loving who you are and who you are being, your consciousness opens up a portal to allow other people to actually download that same vibrational knowledge and information. It's not what you're saying and doing to the kids necessarily. That's just your outward projection, but it's your inner state of being that they're really connecting with.
Yes, that's accurate because he really hit on something because with your sun being in the 4th house, which represents the root at our core, all right, you developing yourself, working on your energy, understanding how energy works, all right, is strengthening your vibration, which then adds to your fulfillment through your Mars. All right. It's like your sun and your Mars work together on the mission. All right. So in that chocolate covered raisin, your emanation is truth. All right. Authenticity,
Mhm.
serendipity, going with the flow, all right,
Yep.
being where you're called, all right, and then
Yes.
your Mars coats that, and the result is advancement, accomplishment, leadership, mentoring, sharing information, uplifting people. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All
Yeah. That
right.
hit. That hit. That I needed that. I needed that. Cause
All
oh
right, brother.
oh man.
Hey,
Thank you.
just
Thank
know
you so much. Thank you, Reg. Thank you. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
You are
Thank
you
you.
so
bet, man.
welcome.
Every day, just work on being and really following your joy, figuring out what brings you joy in that day. What is it that you can do to bring yourself joy? Not what you can do to change people or do anything like that.
Gotcha.
Be you and bring that joy to yourself, and everything, the path will light up for you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
You are
All right.
Wow.
All
Thank
right,
y'all
brother.
so much. All right.
You bet. Thank you for being here.
No
Yes.
problem. I'm fully support y'all 100%. Thank y'all. Oh my
Always, I know
gosh.
you do. Thank you. All right, brother.
All right.
All
All
right,
right,
all
who's
right.
next?
Let's see. We got Nicole. Oh, there we go. Nicole, come on up here.
Yes,
Nicole
yes. Can you
Angelique.
hear
Hi,
me?
Nicole. Yes,
We
ma'am,
got you.
we can.
Peaceful greetings, peaceful greetings. So excited. Didn't know I was going to be on here tonight, but I am ready. I
Going with the
truly
flow.
enjoy both of you guys. You have been a big impact on my spiritual journey, and I appreciate both of you.
Thank you.
Thank
My
you,
pleasure.
ma'am. Definitely
That feels
appreciate
good.
that.
Thank you. Wonderful. All right, let me get your information, ma'am. Birthday.
11572.
Okay, we got another Capricorn. All right.
The goat, the goat.
Yeah, I see. I
The
bet you got
ego.
some Sagittarius in there too.
I
And
was
while you're
born
looking
at
at that,
5.
I can say, so one of the things that
Hold on,
with
Daddy, because
these.
you got to tell me the rest of the information so I can
Oh,
type
okay.
it
I'm
in.
sorry.
It's
I
okay.
was I was born at 5:58 a.m.
5:58. Okay, and what city?
Indianapolis.
Okay, Indiana, right? Not not
Correct.
Iowa. Okay,
Correct.
all right. Okay, Daddy, go ahead. Go ahead.
Come on,
Okay.
Daddy.
So with the Capricorn, the symbol is the sea goat. So you're part goat and part fish. All right. So what this represented from the ancient perspective is that you are basically learning at this point. One of your big overall lessons is to learn how to deal with your emotions, and you're starting to climb up to your enlightened state, climbing up from being drowning in your emotions. So in past lives, you might have dealt with that and stuff, but now as a sea goat, you're learning and you're moving up to basically start to deal with yourself or handle your emotions better. And I know the Capricorn is an Earth sign, isn't it, Voche?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
feminine Earth, fixed.
yeah,
No,
yeah. So
cardinal. Sorry, it's cardinal, not
the
fixed.
cardinal.
Nope, it's fixed. I was right the first time. Shouldn't have second guessed myself. It's fixed. Go ahead.
Okay, okay.
But yeah,
But that earth energy is really you're down to earth, and you're moving that your emotions kind of move through your emotions a little bit slower. You don't get just overtaken by it. So, but anyway, go ahead, Voice.
yeah,
I'm just
right. But no, I
yakking.
love that's a perfect segue, because when you say she's a sea goat, she's an extreme sea goat because her Capricorn sun is at the degree of Pisces. Okay.
Oh
The
yeah.
double fish, which
So
deals
she's
with,
got some double emotions dealing there.
yes,
Right.
but Pisces deals with the collective emotion. So this makes you someone who is very sensitive, very psychic, but you can add structure to it. So whereas other people might kind of unconsciously react to what they're feeling, Capricorn can kind of add structure and a practical analyzation of the energy. All right. So your sun is in the first house of Aries. All right. So it has an Aries flavor, it has a Capricorn flavor, and it has a Pisces flavor.
Wow.
Yes. And Aries and Pisces, once again, Aries represents the physical, Pisces represents the womb, and then Capricorn represents self-mastery. All right, so you know how to pull from either the womb, the physical,
Come on now.
to achieve your goal. All right, this is very balanced, masculine and feminine energy, meaning you can tap into either, whichever serves you, whatever the moment needs. You are what the moment needs. That's what Pisces energy is. Whatever is called for, you are the vessel for that.
Wow.
Yes. And I love your Mars because it's so proving my point, because we have another Mars Aries, you guys.
Wow.
So that's that me first. I got it. Let me step up. What's up? I ain't scared. I'll get on. You know, once again,
That could be a blessing and a curse at the same time.
It can, because
It always is.
competitive. But if you decide to compete against yourself, you'll always win. Okay. So your Mars is also at the degree of Pisces. Okay. So, and it's in the house of Cancer, and it's conjunct a very auspicious angle, which is your IC. But astrologically, what that means is, at your core, you are someone who creates your own inspiration. You are your own muse. You don't need anybody else to tell you what to do, how to do it, or get motivated.
Telling people that.
You are your own battery. All right. You can just draw energy from the source, from yourself. Okay. You don't need outside motivation to accomplish your dreams and goals. Now, in terms of understanding your emotions, all right, that may have been, as my dad said, the challenge in your life, because everything can't be met with fire. Everything can't be met with will. And so you are learning how to call on the other side, call on the feminine. All right. And so this placement is challenging because you can't just constantly force. All right. You have to know when the universe is telling you to surrender. All right. So when it's time to be still, honor those still moments. All right. Because as an earth sign, all right, you have to honor the cycle of growth. All right. Capricorn wants to accomplish everything overnight. All right. It's very impatient, but Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, which is the master of time. All right. So you have to be self-sufficient with your time and be patient with your evolution. Because self-mastery, you become the boss by going through all those levels of initiation and earning them. So then when you're at the top, once again, Capricorn don't just want to sit at the top of the mountain by itself. It's like, oh, I got up here. Let me show everybody else how to get it.
Come on.
But you got to go through the motions first. So you are very much a pioneer, spiritually, physically, mentally. All right. You are willing to be first. And if you follow your inspiration and check with your spirit, like, oh, I feel inspired to do this. But just because you feel it don't mean it's time to act on it yet. Okay. And asking spirit, all right, is it time? Is it time? And you're going to feel when it's time, everything will just open up for you. All right. When it's not time, you're going to feel like you're hitting the wall. Okay. So know when it's time to surrender and know when it's time to go full force. All right. So what spirit is showing me is like, you know how a little kid is maybe fighting his big brother and you put your hand on the head and they like, that's you. And then as soon as they let you go, you're like Speedy Gonzalez. All right. So stop fighting. All right. Listen and feel and use your energy effectively so that you don't burn out, because that might also be a characteristic of yours, is burnout. And is that like, do you know when to stop? Do you know when to hit the pause?
I've learned.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
That was awesome. Thank you so much. That hit so many heads on the nail. And it's crazy. I was sitting here working on my website and I don't even know how I got in, but I got in. But thank you so much. I appreciate the both of you. Peace and blessings.
You bet. Thank you for being here.
Last thing, with it being in Pisces, go with the flow. Do away with your plans. Surrender to the higher plan, the version of you that knows and sees the full picture. All right. Develop that intuition and that psychic ability. You'll be great. You be on it. All right. Okay.
Thank
that's it.
you.
I can go on and
All
on.
right. Thank you, ma'am.
Peace.
No, and that's really one of the things that we really are having to learn. All of us that are here on this earth plane and learning is that we have to learn to surrender to that higher self, you know. So when we're, you know, in Christianity, we're taught to be obedient to God. But in reality, it's not about being obedient to God. It's about being obedient to your God self and following the information that you're given, that intuitive information, and just flowing with it. A lot of us that are really successful, we are used to using our will. And when we're not, and because we've used our will, that's the way we're used to accomplishing things. So one of the hardest things for us to learn how to do is to just flow. And I know that for me personally, it's hard to learn how to just flow, you know. So that's something that all of us are here.
Yes, that's the collective theme right now, because the masculine has been overused, abused.
Yep.
And it needs to be healed. And in order to heal the masculine, you have to go into the feminine. And so we're not completely doing away with the masculine. We need it. It's valid, but we need to create balance by stepping more into the feminine aspect of creation. Okay.
And that's in Cometicism. That's one more to go. Repeat that again, FoyShay.
I was saying the sweet spot is knowing when to attract and magnetize and when to project.
Yeah.
So,
and this is where a lot of the Kemetic people talk about living ma'at, but it's not always understood what living ma'at is. They want to follow rules, but it is really about learning how to balance that energy, learning how to balance that inward drive or that outward drive and that inward allowance. You know, once you learn how to balance that, life becomes even a lot more sweeter. Okay. So all right, AJ.
Hello.
Come on up. AJ's in the house.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. So let me go ahead and get your information.
Okay, so my birthday is April 11th.
Aries. Gotcha.
She already been getting a whole lot then, huh?
Right. But once again, I'm sorry, go ahead. I'll go into that in a second.
85.
Okay. And the hour?
10:23 p.m.
Okay.
And then I have a question.
Okay, where were you born first?
Neptune, New Jersey.
What? That's a cool city.
It is such a cool city. It is such a cool city because Neptune is in my first house.
That's crazy synchronistic.
It is, isn't it? Exactly.
Yes,
and I have like a bunch of these like freckles on my face, so it's like weird.
Man, that's really cool.
Those freckles are gorgeous, child.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed you are. Okay, what was your question?
So I noticed I did look at my birth chart a few times, and I noticed that it looks like my North Node and the Mars, it looks like it's like attached.
They're conjunct, yes.
So I don't know what that is.
Oh, that's special. Oh, this is so special. Okay, so for those who don't know, what a conjunction means is that when the planet or the angle are within 5 degrees, this means they are conjunct. So that means that their purposes are attached, they are aligned, their expression goes hand in hand. To realize one, you have to realize the other. They are partners, all right, in your personality, in your existence. And what the North Node represents is our purpose, how to achieve what our God self came to this incarnation to experience, all right, is what our North Node tells us. So if we want to know what's my God self, what did it have in store for me? What did it have planned for me? Look at your North Node, and that's the direction it wants you to go in. So with her North Node being directly conjunct her Mars, that means that her purpose is directly connected to her outward expression, how she shows up in the world, and her projection and getting stuff done. All right. So you are very much here to get shit done in this life. But the way that you do it, okay, this is going to be so frustrating for you because as an Aries sun, once again, Aries is like, let's get it done. Let's get it started. Let's get it popping. What's necessary? It's like boom, boom, boom. It has no fear in starting. All right. Your Mars is at the degree of Scorpio, and it's in the sign of Taurus. All right. So Scorpio and Taurus in a birth chart, they're on an axis, meaning they are sister signs or like kind of opposites. They're the flip side of the coin. So what that axis represents is surrendering. Taurus has to surrender to the natural cycles of nature. Scorpio has to surrender to transformation and darkness. All right. Both of these signs have to release control. It's realizing and learning that you have none. All right. Meaning that you can try to force it as much as you want, but once again, surrender. And I don't know if anyone has noticed the themes, but every person who has come on this live today has had those degrees or those feminine degrees that require you to surrender, even if you have a fire Mars. Okay. So Scorpio, once again, let's talk about what you're motivated to do. Scorpio wants to uncover the darkness. All right. Taurus wants to add beauty to the process of life. It wants to find beauty in the light and beauty in what's considered ugly. All right. And with it, where it's at in your chart, it's straddling the fifth house and the sixth house. So the house of self-expression and the house of routine, health, service, daily our daily activities. Okay. So this means you are a very hard worker. All right. When you put your mind to something, you have an abundance of energy and you can just keep going. All right. But when you hit that, if you're going and you're not utilizing your energy where you want something to grow, you might experience, once again, burnout, or you had to come to terms with getting jobs just for the money, or like, this check is going to be good, but I don't really enjoy what I'm doing, you know? But it's like, you want to be good at whatever you do. So even if you don't like that job, you're still going to give your best effort, right? Yeah. It's like, if my name is attached to it, I'm not about to go past this, but then it leads to, do you look like you want to say something, Daddy? You're muted, Daddy. You and Dwayne are muted.
No, I was going to say, AJ, is she on point with what she's saying here so far?
Yes, definitely. Like, I got into a job that I absolutely didn't like. And because I kept going, I ended up like hurting, like I built up stress in my neck and my shoulder. A lot. And
if you don't surrender, it is directly connected to your health. Like, you will start to experience health issues, like you said, energetic tension in the body. All right. Because the sixth house also represents our physical. Taurus represents the physical, the body. Okay. So this makes you someone who is very creative, and you're able to stick with something and be consistent and stay with it. But your challenge is adaptability. So you get frustrated when it's winter, meaning in your pursuit, things have to be reborn. You have to everything has to be deconstructed and destroyed in order to be rebirthed. You resist that. But if you just surrender into it, you'll start feeling when it's coming, and then you'll welcome it, and then you'll be like, I'm gonna get everything I can out of this, so that when I do come out of this transformation, I'm gonna propel forward. Okay. So the way energy works is it expands, masculine, it contracts. It expands and contracts. We have to honor the expansion as much as the contraction going within. So get sensitive, or develop your sensitivity, because you are very psychic. All right. Your sun is also in the fourth house of emotions, ancestry. Your ancestry is very gifted, very powerful. They are the initiators. They are the pioneers. All right. You might come from, yes, Dad?
I was going to ask her, is she hitting on, or you? Did you know you were psychic, or is that something that you kind of flirted with?
When I was younger, I used to wish to be psychic, and I almost felt like I wished it into my life, like, but not knowingly.
First house? What? That's in you. Your soul incarnated with that, and it's in Capricorn. That means your soul has had this gift for multiple lifetimes. It's not new.
So I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know that. So when I was younger, I used to watch shows like Harriet the Spy and Matilda, and I really used to wish that I was that person. Like, and now even more so today, just learning about everything that you are teaching, I know for sure that it is. And I have intuitions to do things. Like the other day, I had an intuition to go do something, and I was spot on, and it shocked me.
Mhm.
And I
See,
feel
that's going with the flow.
yes,
Yes.
and
Just
the more I
following,
do it,
following that. Yeah.
yes, the more I do it, the more it grows, and I'm just
Yep.
like,
Yep.
what's next? Like, what is
Yes.
going to happen here?
Oh, I love that for you, because the more you do that, the closer you are to your purpose. The purpose is experience, but the more you are aligned to your fulfillment. All right. So you have the potential to attract large amounts of money and wealth in this life if you surrender to the cycles, have patience, and know that you will always be taken care of. Okay. You will always have everything that you need. Okay. Your soul,
Wow.
your spirit team, they don't play about you. You are very protected. All right.
Wow.
And
Wow.
anybody that try to play with you,
Oh,
it's like tenfold. It's coming right back to them. And you be like, I ain't have to lift a finger. All
oh
right.
my gosh, yes. That's literally what it is. That's like the other day. That's what happened, and I was
Mhm.
like, oh my gosh, and it's like I almost wanted to feel bad because I felt like, oh my, I was like, that was not me. That was not me. It was like
But
that
your
was what they
energy is
did to
in love.
me.
You
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
fuck with love. All right. When
No.
you vibrate at that frequency, you are untouchable. Okay.
Yes.
So just know that everything you desire is coming to you.
Oh wow.
Simply surrender to the cycles. Trust that you are aligned. And once again, the theme, continue to follow your inspiration. All right. Do what you love and what you value. Because if you're doing what you don't value, you're wasting your energy. You're going to be drained, and you're not going to be your vibrant self that you are. All right. You are here to inspire, okay, through being in your authenticity. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's very powerful, because family, you have to understand that there is like in the way that I approach these ideas is through, just again, it's all about consciousness. You have in the physical, there's three levels that we deal with, three levels of consciousness, and I call those the third dimension, fourth dimension, and the fifth dimension. Okay. Now, understand dimensions. People will talk about places. Dimensions are not places, they're states of being.
Mhm, mhm.
So, when you're talking about the third dimension, that's what a lot of people are dealing with now, is where they're dealing with this idea that they're separate from everything else and everybody else. And it's just not the case. Okay. The fourth dimension is when you figure out that the universe works in your favor. Okay. The fifth dimension is when you truly start to operate from that place of I am, and I am self-love, and I am loving myself and following my energy and letting that light the path for me. So when you said you followed your intuition the other day, that was your energy lighting the path for you.
Wow.
Mhm.
It's an inner light. It's not something you're necessarily going to see. You're going to feel where you need to go when you need to.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. I mean, it shocked me. That was like really the first experience that I consciously was aware of that happened. And I was on the phone with one of my friends at the time, and she was like, "Oh my gosh," like, because we were talking. It's just a long story. And then she was like, "I can't believe that." And I was like, "Me either." And I was like, "What?" And like, I'm still thinking about it. And I'm like, "Well, when is the next experience?" Like,
Mhm.
Just stay
And that's
open.
Aries. That's Aries. It's like, what's next? What's next? What's
yeah.
next? But
Yeah.
Taurus wants you to savor
Yeah.
the moment.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And you just got to
Savor
learn to trust it.
it. Mhm.
Yeah. So then so with the ancestors, is it because my ancestors passed away, so they're helping, or
No. Your lineage. So we incarnate into our ancestry. All right. Your lineage, the line that you incarnated into, they have these gifts already. You're here to awaken them, because maybe they went through trauma and a situation where they couldn't express it or couldn't be all that they are. So the gifts just keep getting passed down till somebody can awaken them, till somebody can activate them, till the vibration on the earth matches the realization of these talents and gifts. Okay. So for example, my mother is a whole medium. All right. And my grandmother was very psychic too, and this is from what I've downloaded from her as she's passed. But my mother was a whole medium. But keep in mind, she told me I was going to hell originally for not believing in Christianity. But my awakening, yes, complete 180.
Did a 180.
Like she in the movement. All right. She got all her crystals. She with the meditating and the spirit and the energy. But I helped awaken it in our lineage because I was the one that was willing to seek the truth and get through all that convolution and all those layers of trauma and conditioning and be like, this is who and what we are. Let's be this, mama. And so now she's like bold into all that she is.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel like I'm at this point with my mom right now. Like literally, I'm at this point with my mom. Like we cannot go any further together. Like if I don't get to that point with her.
And so you have to be brave enough to break away and be like, hey mom, it's okay if we don't see eye to eye, because I had to be bold enough to allow her to be mad at me, see me in whatever way. And like, that's all right. That's not for me to deal with. That's not my responsibility. That's your responsibility. My responsibility is my authenticity. And our contract was that my authenticity would awaken her. I'm a Saturn return baby for both of my parents, but that's a whole nother topic.
Right.
But saying that to say you are through being all that you are, you will help activate all that she is.
Okay.
So you owe it to both of y'all.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not what you say and what you do is not going to change her. She's going to see what you do, and that's what happened with FoyShay.
Yep.
It wasn't what FoyShay was telling her mother, because understand her mother and me are the same. You're not going to tell us nothing.
Yeah.
No.
You're not going to tell us nothing.
Asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was when she saw FoyShay being brave enough to live the life that she wanted on her terms.
Gotcha.
Then that's when she started to shift.
Okay.
So it wasn't FoyShay was just being, and she opened up the portal for her mother to be as well.
Okay, because I feel like it's at the breaking point. It's getting there.
Yep.
With me accomplishing, I may have accomplished this big task that I'm going through now. Possibly.
So you once again, you're sensitive to that destruction. It's like you feel it.
I feel it coming.
Apply that to every aspect of your life. You can feel the highs and you can feel when it goes to the lows, but don't be afraid of those lows. Be like, all right, we're going down. Woo!
It's literally power moment.
Put your hands up, bro.
Look. Okay.
It's like it's I have to prepare for this because it's like it crashes down, like literally fire burning, like it burn, like I burn everything down.
You are a phoenix. You are a phoenix.
Oh my gosh.
But know that after that burn down, you're gonna be rebirthed.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Embrace
it. All right.
Okay.
Hey, thank you for being here, AJ.
Thank you. Bye.
All right.
See you guys again later. Good night.
All right. All right. What we looking like on time, Daddy?
Let's see. We good. We good. So let's you got something. You got. Are you gonna need to cut it short?
No. I just the last live I was on was an hour.
I have so Alicia is gonna be the last one. So next is Latasha. So she had to step out and come back. So come on, Latasha.
Hi.
Hi, Latasha.
Hello. I finally get to talk to you all.
Hello.
Welcome. Glad to have you here.
Yes.
All right. Let's get that information in so we can get this rolling.
My birthday, December the 31st, 1976.
Okay, 1 second.
So there's another Capricorn.
Yeah.
1976. Okay, what's the hour?
11:57 a.m.
11:57. And what city were you born in?
Tyler, Texas.
Okay, another Texas.
Tyler. Tyler Rose.
Yes.
Okay, Tyler, Texas. There we go. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, right. Another Capricorn.
Yes.
And your Mars is a Sagittarius.
That's
Double
why my daughter
Sagittarius
is.
mixed with Leo. Okay. So once again, Capricorn's emanation is surrendering to time with
Okay.
an undying ambition. All right. The desire for self-mastery. And your Capricorn sun is in its home of the 10th house. So you have been someone who all your life has been dedicated to how can I be my best self? How can I climb? How can I be better? There's this feeling of never settling, having very high expectations for yourself. And not even in the sense of accumulating wealth, but like honoring yourself or traveling or adventuring or seeking. Okay. But also the desire to teach. Okay. So whereas
Okay.
you would have liked, how can I put it? You have had to learn how to structure your creativity. So you may be
Yes.
someone who's had a lot of talents, a lot of different interests. And you're like, all right, how do I structure this and create something that brings me lasting wealth and a legacy, as well as stimulates me? Because you probably get bored really easily too. Like,
Yeah, I love being up. I don't like sitting a lot, and I love traveling. I've been out of the country at least once in my life. I've been to Morocco, so I've traveled outside of the country at least once, and I've traveled all over the U.S. like a lot of places.
Yes, love that. Because with your Mars being in the 9th house, your Neptune is here too. So the traveling you do isn't just physical. All right. You are an inner traveler, and you may find that you have very prophetic dreams or psychic dreams, or you just know that you don't necessarily know how you know, but you be knowing stuff. And with it at the 29th degree and its conjunct your midhaven, both your sun and your Mars are straddling your midhaven. So this means you are someone who, at your highest potential, you are fearless in the pursuit of authenticity. So you may have had to go through things where people have tried to get you to be a certain way, or try to impose on you how to be, what to do. And you've had to learn how to be brave enough to break out of that and seek truth for yourself, whether that be through your beliefs about the universe or your beliefs about yourself. You've had to reanalyze those for you, define them for you. And with that 29th degree of Leo, you've had to stay hell bent and strong on your path, on your purpose. All right. And you've had to learn how to self-validate. Is that true? Is that true?
Yes, because all my life I've been seeing it, like my deja vus are coming more and more. Like you said, been dreaming. One time I flew over Dallas at nighttime. It was something like, I got to go back. Oh man, have to go back or whatever. So I've been doing that all my life, like seeing things happen in my life, and then actual conversations with people and people I've met. Like one of my friends, I met her in a dream in 2011, but I met her physically in 2013. Like things like that happened to me.
See? Yes. Yes, very prophetic. So you are a time traveler in the sense that you unconsciously send your consciousness to different dimensions, different future realities. All right. And then you bring back the information and you're like, well, how do I get there? Or, what did the process look like? And once again, the theme with Sagittarius is surrender to serendipity, surrender to being in the right place at the right time, just trusting your intuition, not worrying if it makes logical sense. All right. Because Capricorn can be very logical. Okay. But you're here to develop your self-expression. You're here to focus on you and everything you want to accomplish, and not worry about other people's opinions or other people imposing on you what you should or shouldn't be doing. Like follow your intuition. Don't let people control you. All right. You discover the control you truly have by going within, altering your energy. All right. And discovering your light, like peeling those layers back so that you can shine. Don't be afraid to shine.
Yeah, because I've been working on that since May 2020. It's getting more and more or whatever. So I've been working on that for,
Mhm.
and it feels amazing.
All
Yeah.
right. All right.
Yeah. Was that
No, and
accurate for you, Latasha?
Say it again.
I said, was that accurate for you?
Yes, because I've been trying to understand it. And like when you was talking about earlier about that 18 wheel, I used to see that all the time when I was little. Now I understand what it was. Cause that used to happen to me a lot. Because I
Yeah.
was like traveling back and forth to East Texas, to Dallas and everything. And I see that all the time when I'm looking at 18 wheel. I always I got my license to drive one. So I was saying maybe that was, I keep a commercial license, that's a backup plan.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, that's
Do
big.
away with
That's
the
big.
backup plan. Do away with the backup plan. That's part of the issue is playing it safe. Be willing to take those risks,
Yes.
and do it when it's like I feel it, Don't overthink it. You get what I mean?
Yes, I understand.
All right. All right. All right. Well, thank you, Latasha. Most definitely. And I wanted to say too about she was saying how, she's able to tap into these different dimensions and look into the future in a sense. And family, this is one of the things I want you guys to understand is a lot of times we think imagination is make believe. Family, it is not make believes. When you see stuff in your imagination, you are literally, and I'm saying you are literally peering into other dimensions of experience. Okay? This is why it's so important that you don't keep like rehashing like the past hurts and pains and stuff like that, because literally your point of power to change your life starts right here, because this is the paradox of imagination. Okay, even when you think that you're looking at something or you're dealing with something in the past or you're dealing with something in the future, it's not either one, because there's only right now.
Yeah.
That's the paradox.
Mm-hmm.
You're bringing that stuff into your now, and you're like literally shifting your possibilities based on the energy that you're dealing with right now. So even if you're bringing up something that was angry for you, low vibrational, that was in the past, it's affecting your present to where you're locking yourself into that same type of energy. Okay.
And that's a great point, Dad, because it's easy for us to understand that the past is part of the present, but what people don't acknowledge is that the future is also in the present as well. So just like we can tap into nuances of the past, if you develop it, you can also perceive the future while you're in the present, because both are there. Everything is now. For sure.
And it's really about when you start to understand what you're doing on this level, and guys, I'm really helping you guys, and this is and what we're doing tonight is really helping you to tap into a higher level of consciousness here. Because when you're tapping even into those future events, those future times, you're bringing them to your now. But what we do is we are separating it in our minds, and we separate the energy when we do this. We're separating it in our minds as it's something that's not real. But you are literally experiencing it now. It's very real experientially. There is no separation energetically. I'll say that again. When you're connecting to stuff in your future, it is now. There is no separation energetically. And the universe, when you stop separating it in your mind as if it's something different or off in the future, when you stop doing that, and then you have an integrity with that energy, the universe has to manifest it. Okay? That's some powerful shit. So what we're talking about is you literally shifting your consciousness to a higher level, not a good or bad or better or anything like that. It's all consciousness,
all frequency.
But you're literally, huh?
I said all consciousness and frequency. If you can alter frequency, yeah, you can alter your state of being.
Yep. Absolutely. And you can alter your life from that state of being. It's kind of like it's like going up a staircase. When you start stepping up consciously on a staircase, you can see a little bit more as you step up. Okay. But if you stay on that lower level vibrationally, angry, separated, third dimensional thoughts, then you cannot reach those higher levels. Okay. All right. I'll shut up. Come on with it. Let's see who we got. Dwayne. Come on, brother.
Hello, Dwayne.
How you doing? You guys can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Okay. I'm born August 26, 1965.
Came on ready. I love it.
At 12
hold on.
midnight.
Okay. Oh, midnight, baby. Okay. August.
Philadelphia,
26.
PA.
You said 1965?
Yep.
Philly. Thank goodness for auto spell, because I was like, how do you spell Philadelphia? Hold on. Philadelphia. Thank you. Sorry, my dog. I'm having a brain fart. What state is Philadelphia?
Pennsylvania, PA.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. I had a complete brain fart.
Yeah.
Just think of all this other stuff, but how you spell Philadelphia? Okay. PA. Where is it? Okay, there we go. Now I don't know my alphabet. Okay. So you said August 26, 1965 at midnight in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So you, sir, are a Virgo sun, all right? And the mission, but you got a lot. You got a lot going on though with your Virgo sun, all right? Meaning, you got a 4th house stellium. Your sun is stacked. Your ancestors is stacked. The mission.
Baby girl, don't say it like that. You got a 4th house stellium.
No, it's a good thing. This is a lot of power. Like it's a lot of power in this 4th house.
It's a positive thing.
Much is given.
Oh yeah, I know.
Much is expected. Okay, so that's where that is coming from.
Yeah.
All right. So you really had to be bold in your self-expression and get over being self-critical in terms of overthinking or how can I put it? You really have to find balance in how much you take in from other people in terms of how they perceive you and how you perceive yourself. Your lessons have really been around defining who you are for you. Does that resonate?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
And so were you the black sheep in your family?
No, I'm actually, I'm more like a leader.
Okay.
But,
all right.
I was never really I
kind of against the mold.
I go against the grain a little bit. Exactly. Yes. Like where if everybody's like this, I'm like, that's not me. I got to do something different. So it's then I got to deal with you're no better than nobody else, and it's like, well, no, in a way I feel as though I am, and it's not good. But that's saying it to myself,
Got you. Yes. You have really had to find that balance between.
Exactly.
Yes, I am special, but I also can point out the specialness in other people, using that critical, analytical nature to see what is at other people's core as well. Because how your sun wants to be supported in its emanation and fulfillment is through your Scorpio Mars. All right. So Scorpio Mars, once again, Scorpio, its goal, the archetype, what Scorpio wants to do. All right. What your Mars and Scorpio wants to do is uncover the truth and share information. It wants to bring up what is hidden, okay, and share it. So you may be a researcher, okay, in some type of way you like to research or get to the bottom of something, or you are a professional rabbit hole diver, meaning like just your curiosity is what leads you. Do you feel that to be true?
In a lot of ways, yes. That's why I found comedic centered living. I'm scrolling through YouTube looking for information, and I got a lot of information from a lot of conscious people. And by listening to different ones, I found Reginald to be more, I would say, more unique and more subtle. It was like plain and simple, but it was also very informative. I mean, you know, stuff like that.
And that Virgo, Virgo wants to get to the point. It's like, I don't care about all that fluff. Like, get to the point. And it's like, it's boring if you're not getting to the point. Like, I don't need you to go around. Get to the point. All right. But with that, with your Mars, it's in the 6th house and it's at the degree of Gemini. So you are very analytical. Once again, might overthink or over process things or make things bigger than what they are sometimes in terms of how you express your anger or emotions. You're very good at zooming. All right. And whereas this can be good sometimes, you know, if you need to see something more clearly, sometimes you can zoom in too much and all you see is pixels and you've lost sight of the bigger picture. All right. So you really had to learn how to zoom out as well. But with this placement, with your Mars in the 6th house, if you have something in the 6th house, you got to work it every day. It's in your face every day. It's requiring you to do something with it every day. You also have Neptune here in Scorpio. This makes you someone who is a trigger to people, meaning like you can say the simplest thing and it's going to irritate somebody or tick them off, and you might have not even know, like, I mean, that was light, but if that's how you want to feel, go ahead. Like, I don't know what you got going on. Like, have you experienced that? Like, people being triggered by you sharing information?
Yes.
You point
just kind
out
of ruffle feathers.
Really want to see.
Yeah, and it happens sometimes when I was dating. You know, when I'm dating, that has happened. I mean, you know, it's like I didn't mean it that way, or so.
Yeah.
But I can be very analytical.
Yes, and with Scorpio, your analyticalness may be kind of psychological. Like you're observing people's beingness. You know, you're observing how people operate. You notice the nuances, whether it be like a shift in mood, a nuance in tone. Like you are very tuned in to the nuances of life. And sometimes there are situations where that's appreciated and useful, but there are also situations where people don't understand how it's useful or feel like it was received in a negative way. So your desire to be your individual self is like a resistance to being controlled. In not wanting to be controlled, sometimes, how can I put it? The rebel, you have to learn to be a rebel with a cause. Does that make sense?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So it needs to rebel with some direction or something in mind, rather than just like blurting out or
just the intent to just blow something up because you can. You know.
Has to get to a point.
What do you mean by that?
Well, like I said, knowing what I want to do in life, as far as like, what really breaks things down, that I've learned is living life on my own terms, but at the same time, allow other people to be who they are, love them where they at, you know, don't be so critical. And like I said, if I'm gonna lead or step out, I'm gonna have a point to what I'm doing. You know, I'm gonna, you know, have a great direction, not just like you said, just blurting out, just rubber with it, no cause whatsoever.
Yeah. Because the way that you nurture is by sharing information, is by sharing a bigger picture, is by sharing higher ideals. And so you've had to learn, okay, yes, I can see the negative, but I also see the positive. I also see the light. So learn to illuminate both, you know, have that balance in how you relate. Like, yeah, I see you need to work on this, but you do a really good job at this, you know?
Yeah,
so
that's what I
build
learned.
as much as you destroy.
Yeah. Be able to give a little bit of honey with that salt.
Right. Exactly.
All right.
Well, that's what I've been doing. You know, I try to make every day a positive one. You know, no matter what happens, look for the right. You know, if there's traffic here, there's another road over there.
Yes.
So, there you go.
with having, and this is beyond Mars, but with having, I just want to leave you with this. With having Neptune in your 6th house, the path, again, Neptune convolutes things. It's not clear, but everything is going how it needs to go if you are facing the darkness. Conquer. Okay. And just as you are self-critical of other people, when you direct it within you, you create and facilitate transformation when you seek answers. Okay? So you got it.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Really do.
All right, Dwayne. Thank you,
You
brother.
guys have a good night.
You too.
All right, you have a good night.
You too.
All right. Was that Alicia?
Yes.
Hi, Alicia.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
We have one more behind her that wanted to go. Can you take one more after her?
He's
or
joking.
Just one more.
I'm psychic, so I know that was a joke. Alisa, your information.
September 5th, 1986.
It wasn't a joke, Daddy.
Huh?
September 5th.
Oh, my bad.
You said September 5th?
1986.
1986.
And my birth time is 9:23 a.m.
Okay. And what town were you born in?
Memphis, Tennessee.
Dad, this is going to be the last one, okay?
She's going to be the last one?
Yeah, she's going to be the last one. Once I start getting drained, the quality of the reading start going down.
Gotcha. Understood. Hey, Kinsmer, I'm sorry, man. She's going to have to be the last one, brother.
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to get you on the next one. Or you can visit my website, and I'll get you an in-depth one, all right?
All right. Thank you, by the way.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for understanding. I appreciate it. All right, so let me confirm that I entered your information incorrectly. September 5th, 1986, Memphis, Tennessee, 9:23 a.m.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. So you are a Virgo sun, but your Virgo has nuances of or flavors of Aquarius and Pisces. All right. So the mission of your sun is to be of service to mass consciousness through channeling your inner genius. All right. You have a lot of unique ideas, a lot of unique perspectives, but you don't talk your shit enough. All right. It's like you don't put enough on it in the sense of what you know. You don't need people to validate you. If you feel it and you know it's true, go with that. All right. People throughout your life, people have tried to project onto you what you are, who you are, but you have had to learn to be like, look, yes, I'm a reflection, but I'm whatever the moment needs. I'm not who you try to label me as. Okay. Because with having and your sun is directly conjunct your Neptune, which adds to the flavor of your sun. This is extreme intelligence and genius, but you have to get in your channeling bag to access it, meaning that learn to listen to yourself, learn to trust yourself, know that you do know the answers. Girl, you even got moon in the 12th house. Like, so much psychic ability here, so much muse energy, allowing yourself to be the inspiration by simply being. All right.
Wow.
And then you got the Capricorn Mars in a way. So Capricorn is exalted in Mars. All right. But it goes against all this Pisces energy that you got. So whereas Pisces doesn't need a sense of direction, but everything gets done. It might not look like it's organized or a logical path forward, but it's going to get done. Spirit going to help you get it done. All right. You're guided. Your Mars is in Capricorn, but it's at the degree of Gemini. And it's in the 3rd house, but conjunct your IC. So what this means is that you are a very self-motivated person. You have very high ambitions for yourself, and you're multi-talented. Like you're good at many things. Do you feel that to be true? Or can learn how to do different things, multiple passions? You feel that to be true?
Yes, all this is very true. It's almost scary how accurate this is.
I love that's my favorite saying. I love what you say.
Yeah.
But what this looks like is that you are very hard on yourself because you feel like you're scattered. You feel like you're not moving forward. You like, what am I? I'm all over the place. But the catch is you're supposed to be. All right. So you think you're wasting time, but really what you're doing is collecting tools to put in your tool belt that you're going to need along your journey. But you don't know when you're going to need which tool. You just need to worry about collecting the tools. All right. And then following the path that's set before you. But you're not going to see 3 steps ahead. You only going to see 1 step ahead. Maybe half.
Can I say something to that right there too? Mm-hmm. Is especially what she's saying is you're a lot of times you're looking at yourself critically. And you said she's a Virgo, right?
Yep.
Which that's usually a Virgo thing. You usually look at yourself very critically, you know, and that is when you're doing that, you're separating your energy and you're putting yourself in conflict. Okay. You need to learn what Voche is telling you is that you need to learn to just enjoy the journey and enjoy what's happening in the moment, because you're picking up your tools along the way. But if you're looking at it from a place of, damn, what's wrong with me? You can't get what you need to get.
Or always being focused on the end goal. So you, just like I said, I've had visions of my life. I have visions of, and it's throughout my life, it just feels like checkpoints. I'm at the mile marker, but I never know when I'm approaching the mile marker. Just like, oh, I remember this vision. I'm here. You know, but I didn't know how I was going to get there. And sometimes that can be frustrating when you see it, but you're like, how do I get there? Trust the journey. Like my dad said, trust the path.
Trust it and enjoy the journey.
Yes.
Just live every day that you can live being joyful, and really ask yourself every day, what can I do today that will bring me joy? And if you can trust that and follow that, because that's sometimes it can be scary. But if you can trust that and follow that, the universe is going to light the path for you from within. You're going to know by your excitement which direction to go.
Because you are a very wise soul. You've been here, like you are one of the souls that has come to help. All right. But you have to surrender to, like my dad said, following your joy. So you are an entrepreneur and you might start 3, 4, 5 businesses before you get to the one that's like, I'm gonna stick with this one for forever. But those 4 or 5 businesses gave you the knowledge and know-how to be able to hold on to that last one and get everything you need to get out of it. Does that make sense? And I know you're, as a Virgo, you're already thinking like, dang, 4 or 5, like, can it just be, I want to just be so efficient that I only got to do one, you know, and learn. But what Virgo has to understand is that to become the master, you must first be the novice. All right. And Virgo don't like being not good at stuff. So it's like, you want to be good at it instantly. You don't want to go through the process of feeling ignorant or not knowing. Virgo is a perfectionist. All right. But progress is your friend. Persistence is your friend. And like my dad said, Virgo's power is in the present. So what can I control now? What can I do now? What can I be now? Because being is also very important for you. You may think that your path is all about doing, but there are seasons in your life where you are required to sit still, put your hands under your butt, and be. All right? And be still. Have you experienced periods of your life like that where it feel like no matter how much you force or try to act, you like, I don't have no motivation to do that. I don't feel like doing it. I know I need to do it. I should do it, but I don't want to do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. If you
and that's a lot of times Virgos think they got to be busy.
Yes.
You think something's wrong with you if you're not busy.
Right. But you can be busy and unproductive. You get what I mean? If you want to be efficient, all right, honoring times of rest are just as important as honoring times of action, periods of action. All right. So as an earth sign, all earth signs have to learn to honor the seasons of growth. You can't try to grow watermelon in the winter. That's going to be some nasty ass watermelon. You get what I mean? So if you want things to ripen, if you want your fruit to ripen in the proper timing, all right, you have to surrender to the seasons of growth. Okay. And feel it out. Don't try to force it. Do away with shoulds, do away with need tos, and come to, do I feel like, you know? Okay. What inspires me right now? And then put your energy into that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So
When you can do that and trust that, it's going to be powerful for you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
So your Virgo comes across as a Capricorn a lot, or you come across as a Capricorn to other people in terms of enterprising, responsible, always trying to move forward or get something done. But also you're that inner conflict of I'm not doing enough. I ain't doing shit. Like I'm scattered. Well, I don't know what y'all looking at or what y'all see, but I don't feel like I got it together. You know? But you do.
Is she hitting it on the head?
Man, it's scary how you, yeah. I'm lost for words. I really am.
Love it. Love
Wow.
it.
Wow.
My favorite.
Love that. Love hearing that she's so like accurate. But that's what she does, family. So y'all,
I love
hey,
what
y'all
I do,
gotta,
y'all.
y'all gotta get a birth chart reading from her, guys. So
Yeah.
she knows her shit. This is my daughter,
Wow.
and yeah, I'm bragging on my daughter. She know her shit. Okay?
Thanks,
She
Daddy.
does.
Thanks.
Well,
The apple don't fall far, you know?
Man, I wanted to tell you both thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
You're most welcome.
Because I've been watching y'all for a long time since the pandemic, and y'all have helped me a lot.
We're glad we can.
And I
Glad we can be
really
of service.
appreciate it. So yeah. And I've been wanting to do this for so long, to get on there and talk to you guys. And I felt like Spirit was just forcing me to do it. And I kept trying to ignore it. And I haven't been on YouTube in months. And it popped up and I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And Spirit just kept forcing me. It was like I was getting forced to do it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I need to listen.
Yes.
And I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I finally get to talk to you guys. My husband's going to freak out because he's been wanting to do it too.
That's a lesson for you. That's a lesson for you that you followed that prompting.
Yes.
And you get something good from it. Trust it.
Your spirit team is hopping up and down right now. They are giving you applause. They are like, there's this like ding, 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 ding. Like that's what we've been trying to tell her. That's what we've been wanting her to do. We speak to her loud. She hears us loud. She just don't trust it all the time. But your spirit team is all the way, your spirit team and your ancestors. All right. You have very powerful feminine energy on the other side helping you in this life. Okay. Trust it. It's very strong in you. The only person in your way is you. I promise. They like, if she just open up and listen, life will go so much smoother. So I love that for you. Congratulations for listening. I'm proud of you. I feel the pride that your spirit team has for you right now. Like they feel like they just got a breakthrough. Like I'm
feeling that energy rush over me right now.
Me too. I have chills. You can't see them. I got this sweater on, but I'm emanating what they're saying right now. They are so hyped for you. Like, I love that for you so much. Congratulations.
Oh my God.
Next chapter.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome, Alicia. Man, that's a great conclusion.
Hey,
that's a
get
great
out
one
there
to
and
end
do
on.
your thing, Chicken Wayne.
Oh my goodness. I appreciate y'all.
You're so welcome.
You betcha. All right, man. You have a good rest of your night, okay?
Y'all too. Thank you.
Yeah.
You
Take care.
You betcha. All right, daughter. Is there anything else that you want to say towards the end here? So, hey, well, I'll say this. Guys, if you want a cheat code to your life, y'all just saw what she does and how she helps people. If you want a cheat code for your life, go to vovibes.com. This lady is gifted and she will help direct you. You have everything you need in you.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just need that guidance, and your birth chart can be that spot to give you your guidance. So she can help you, family. She can help you.
Yes. Thank you so much for that, Daddy. And thank you for having me on. It has been such a pleasure. I missed you. I missed this. And it has been everything. So once again, just thank you for always supporting me, always uplifting me, and for being all that you are. So
absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm so blessed to have you as a daddy.
Well, I'm blessed to have you as a daughter. So it's that is real. So I will always be in your corner. Always.
Yes.
So
Likewise.
brother will die for this young lady here. For real. So
Yeah, my daddy.
all right, family. Well, family, y'all have a great rest of your night, and we will catch y'all next time, okay?
Yes. Good night, everyone. Until next
Good night.
time.